Are you still looking for a way to make your Noelle God tier? Should you be stacking defense percent, attack percent? We're going to be going over all of that today and giving you the math behind the decision-making process that you're going to be following. We're also going to be showing you my Noelle's gear, and you're going to have some nice little footage to be playing in the background for you guys. So if you're new to the channel, we provide high-quality, data-driven Genshin Impact character guides as well as content critique. If you want to see more stuff like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn your notification bell on. If that's not enough for you guys, we've been dared that if we hit 100,000 subscribers, we'll pull for C6 Ganyu and Bite the Bullet as long as we hit that deadline before the banner comes out. That's right, you could not only get top tier content but also witness the C6 GOAT, actual GOAT. Anyways, let's get right into it. What am I doing with my Noelle? Noelle is very good at doing a couple of things. Obviously, she's your shielder and your healer, but the thing that she does that is very interesting compared to anything else is she can really kind of double dip on stats with her elemental burst. Obviously, sweeping time. You get a defense percent of your total defense added to your attack. This is very, very powerful as you level it up. Obviously, if you have no constellations, the highest you can get this to is level 10, which can give you a 72% attack bonus from your defense. So 72% of your defense is going to get added to your attack. Now, obviously, you can get Constellation 6 as well, which gives it an additive 50% bonus. The max amount that you can get from this is 135%. So this allows her, even with this paltry amount that you see right here, 1,325 attack, you can skyrocket this up to 5,000 plus without, we're not talking about Bennett buffing or anything, just straight up her taking her monstrous defense, getting it in there and smacking people down and having her just be your backbone sort of bruiser hard carry character. No one's better in the game for that than Noelle. Now, with the weapon that I'm using right now is the Whiteblind. I finally got this bad boy to level 90. And if you are one of those players out there, a lot of you guys, this is going to be your best weapon by far. And we can give you that math as well, like we said, because that's just what we do on this channel for stuff like this that obviously I'm really excited about. So very strong weapon. It's going to be de facto her best weapon. Defense percent substat there gives an attack in defense percent bonus up to 4 stacks of this. You might not be able to refine it right now, right? It's all RNG, but one day you will get this to refinement rank 5. That's gonna give you a 48% attack and 48% defense. This is a stat stick for her. It's insane. So she's very good at getting and building her defense and attack extremely high. So we're really focusing on in our artifacts. So we're using the retracing bolide set because the majority of her damage isn't coming from her elemental burst. It's not coming from her elemental skill. It's coming from normal in charged attacks. Also, this does help her shields be better, so allows her to absorb more damage. It makes her shield last longer shield duration, especially when doing higher content and harder content, harder hitting monsters. You want the shield to last a little bit longer so you can heal your team back up quicker and for a longer duration of time. So you want that 35% extra shield strength. That's awesome. 40% additional normal and charge attack damage as well is also insane for her. That's where all of her damage comes from. And unlike the Gladiator set, this is charge attack in normal damage, not just normal damage. And on top of that, it's a bigger bonus than the Gladiator set. So this is a fantastic thing for you to be doing there. She's amazing with her long reach, very fast hitting charge attack. You can hit an enemy, a single enemy, around 2 times per 1 second, somewhere right around in there. That is an insane amount of damage, especially if you're hitting 4 enemies 2 times in 1 second. Each individual damage number might not be super high, but you can hit things eventually for like 20k per hit, hitting 4 dudes for 20k twice per second, 80, 40k, 160k a second damage DPS. That's pretty powerful, especially since she's also healing and shielding your team and restoring everyone to full HP. That's very strong. So that's going to be her set by far. Obviously, the thing people always talk about, do I need Constellation 6 Noelle to be her, make her good? It makes her insane, but can you use her without it? Yeah, you can. And we're going to be going into that right now for you guys, giving you the data of what it should be that you're stacking attack percent, defense percent. It's going to be broken down so you guys can understand that. First off, we're gonna be laying the groundwork for her base stats. We're doing the level 80 as well as level 90 Noelle. This is because I know all you guys aren't out there, you know, AR 50 plus getting that level 90 Noelle yet. But even if you're not even able to hit 80 yet, you can have something to look forward to in the future so you know the path that you're choosing as you're playing Genshin Impact. It's always about, on this channel, using the characters that you like to the fullest of their potential. So level 80 Noelle, very low base attack, 169. That is extremely low, but her base defense is actually pretty high. 708 at level 80, 799 defense at 90, and 191 attack at level 90. The Whiteblind, 449 attack at 80, 510 attack at 90. The Unforged, which is going to be the big 5-star weapon that we're comparing everything else to. You could also use something like the Wolf's Gravestone, but the Unforged gives you the most attack percent because we're using this weapon, not because it's the other weapon that you can use, but because it's the biggest and baddest attack weapon that you can use to try to get the most amount of attack from Noelle. A level 90 version gives you 608 attack, and obviously the Feather is 311, but this is not base attack. This is additive flat attack. The Feather, guys out there, if you're new to Genshin Impact, is not affected by attack percent from your artifacts, from your character traits, anything like that. It is not affected by that. It's additional flat attack added after the fact. One thing to take note here, though, is after you hit level 90, you have 799 defense. This is very interesting because you have 191 attack, and in the Unforged has 608 attack. You add those two numbers together, your base attack is also, if you're using the Unforged, going to be 799. Very interesting. Let's take a look at our percentage of bonuses now. Noelle does gain increased percent defense from certain ascensions. At level 90, she's gonna have 30% free defense. At 80, she's gonna have 22.5% free defense. The Whiteblind, whether it's 80 or 90, is going to give you either 47.2% defense or 51.7% defense. At refinement rank 1, it's going to give you a 24% attack and 24% defense bonus. At refinement 5, 48% attack and 48% defense bonus. The Whiteblind is a stat stick monster for this character. Looking at the Unforged, we're going to be getting 45 to 49.6% attack from its attack percent substat. At refinement rank 1, at maximum stacks, 5 hits, in having a shield on, which is not hard for Noelle to do at all, it will give you 40% attack at refinement rank 1. At refinement rank 5, it's going to give you 80% attack. If you're using a Sands artifact, 46.6% attack and 58.3% defense, whether you want to use a defense roll or an attack roll on your Sands. Then we have the Goblet, 46.6% geo damage is what you're looking for on your Goblet. So just how much attack can you hit? How much defense can you hit? And should you be stacking defense percent or attack percent? Let's start those comparisons now with a level 80 Whiteblind build. All of these builds are going to be using the same metrics here. We're going to be comparing a C6 versus non-C6 Noelle here, both of them level 13 sweeping time. We're doing an level 80 Noelle, a level 80 with refinement rank 5 Noelle, and then we're also using some bonuses that you could apply to your character. You don't have to, but we want to see how those affect us. So for the instance of this, we're not using any substat rolls, defense percent, attack percent in our substats on our artifacts unless we're using the with bonus section. The with bonus section, we have applied the 25% attack from the double pyro characters. We also have, if you're stacking attack, 25% attack or 35% defense there. We also have access to the 15% additional damage from double geo, the 15% additional geo damage from Ningguang, and the 40% extra charge and normal attack damage from the Bolide set. The stats that we are focusing on for our Noelle is going to be critical hit chance and critical hit damage. That is what you're aiming for on your circlet and your substats in general. And obviously Noelle also gets 15% bonus charge attack damage if you are using her charge attack and you have that constellation. So the first set is going to be the level 80 Whiteblind setup. This is going to be varying and showing you guys exactly what it is that you're gaining and missing, and the things in between we will talk about so you guys know exactly what you should be doing to get the most out of your Noelle, depending on what you want to use her for. So we have the level 80 setups first. Sweeping time 13 compared to sweeping time 13 with constellation 6. The green is going to be your attack with defense sands, followed by your attack with attack sands, followed by how much defense you'll have if you're using a defense sands, followed by how much defense you'll have if you're using an attack sands. So keep that in mind. The attack sands is all stacking attack. You're getting attack percent substats, or the defense sets you're getting when you get down to the bonuses, defense percent substats from your artifacts there. Now, First and foremost, the first one here, you hit 2,594 attack with a all stacking defense build versus 2,531 attack with an all stacking attack build. So they are extremely close, although you will have roughly 400 more defense, which is going to affect your shield strength as well as how much you heal your teammates under the effect of your elemental skill. Once you get Constellation 6, you will see that you will no longer really be neck and neck anymore. Even at level 80 with Refinement Rank 1 Whiteblind, you are now over 200 total attack on the stacking defense build compared to the stacking attack build. Constellation 6 does help out tremendously a full defense build. If you compare the other two setups, this also holds true. Without Constellation 6, even at sweeping time 13, which gives you 85% of your defense added to your attack, you are extremely close with the Whiteblind, no matter what, whether it's Refinement Rank 1, Refinement Rank 5, with a party bonus, without a party bonus, they are extremely close all together within around anywhere from 100 to 80 attack difference. However, the big change here is differencing in your actual defense between these two builds. At the end of the day, sweeping time with the bonus 2,202 attack if you are stacking defense because of that extra defense percent substat there, whereas you will only have 1,541 defense on the full attack build. Not only that, the full attack build will have less attack than the full defense build will. Go figure. What can you take away from this, though? You say, I don't have Constellation 6. I don't have the constellation that adds an extra, 3 levels to my elemental skill. I'm not going to be getting 85% of my defense to my attack. I'm going to be getting 71% of my defense to attack. What that means is once you are able to hit level 10 on your elemental burst on Noelle, you will have more attack on a full stack and attack build, somewhere around 200 more attack or so. However, you will also have 700 less defense on your full attack build than if you would have just stacked full defense in the first place. So you'll be trading a tiny amount of additional attack. You'll be getting that little bit of extra additional attack there for a vast decrease in how much defense percent you can hit there with your choice to stack full attack versus full defense. And this is with the Whiteblind. The Unforged level 80 setup, very similar. Everything is the same circumstances. If you go full defense build, sweeping time 13, 2,698 attack. You stack full defense. 2,674 if you stack full attack. So the full attack, even with the Unforged, still loses to the full defense build. And on top of that, you are also trading off about 400 defense. You're going from 1,280 defense down to 867 on this build. And this build's defense overall is much lower because you do not have the Whiteblind. You do not have the bonus of up to 51% defense as the Whiteblind secondary stat. You do not have the bonus of up to 48% additional defense from the Whiteblind proc. You are missing nearly 100% straight up defense at the end of the day from choosing to use an offensive weapon like the Unforged or the Wolf's Gravestone or the Serpent's Spine. This dramatically decreases the amount of shielding that you have, the amount of heals that you have for a tiny, minuscule amount of bonus attack in the base scenario where you do not have sweeping time leveled up to 10 or 13. One day you will. And so take that away. But what about level 90? What should we be looking at here at the end of the day? The Unforged, it's got to get that big attack, right? It's going to out-level the Whiteblind. It's a 5-star weapon. The base stats are higher. So the level 90 Whiteblind versus the level 90 Unforged. The Unforged setup here, stacking all defense here, sweeping time 13, no additional bonuses, refinement rank 1, 3,070 attack. If you chose to stack full attack, 3,036 attack. So the full defense build here, even with the big Unforged, still is going to lose out to the stacking defense build here. And in addition to losing out on that minuscule amount of attack difference, you're going to be missing out on 500 almost defense. 1,505 versus 1,039 defense here on the stacking defense versus the stacking attack builds. At Constellation 6, it gets even worse, as not only are you no longer neck and neck with your total attack, you are about 250 less attack straight up out the gate, and you're still losing in the defense stacking because you're not stacking defense. It's not happening. You're not getting defense percent sub rolls. You're stacking all attack. And even with refinement rank 5, this will continue. You will still lose during the elemental burst. You will have less total attack if you're stacking attack percent and attack everywhere than if you're just stacking defense percent. Now, why is this? This is because when we originally talked back about base stats, at level 90, Noelle has 799 defense. The combination of her base attack and the base attack of the Unforged is also 799. The amount of additional stat for either attack or defense that you gain per percent attack or percent defense that you gain is the same. And if you have a Constellation 6 Noelle with sweeping time maxed out, you are getting 135% of your defense added to your attack. Knowing that, stacking attack can never beat a level 13 Constellation 6 Noelle. It'll never beat it. And in addition to that, the game also gives you more defense percent on a sub roll or more defense percent as a main stat sans than it will give you attack percent. A main statted defense sans gives you 58% defense, and an attack sans gives you 46% attack. With all of these things said, you will never be, during your elemental burst, a high defense stacking Noelle. It will never happen. Even with a weapon like the Unforged that gives you up to 130% bonus attack at refinement rank 5. But does this beat out the Whiteblind? Let's roll the Whiteblind now. Now the Whiteblind here, as you can see right away, decimates it if you have high Constellation C6 with level 13 maxed out that elemental burst. This is for all of the reasons we went over. You have that 135% of your defense added to your attack. You get way more overall defense in this build, 2,581. So even though your actual attack is very low during your elemental burst with max stacks of the Whiteblind, you are going to absolutely demolish any other build in the game. The Whiteblind for a Constellation 6 Noelle, nothing beats it. You get the 5,008 attack. That is with the 25% bonus attack from the double pyro. That is with a little bit of percent defense and substat rolls down there. And we're not talking major. We're not talking 50, 60, 70% defense substats. We're talking like 30, 35% defense substats that you can roll out there. But even without those substat rolls, high Constellation 6, sweeping time 13, you're still going to hit 4,455 attack without any other bonuses, not counting the elemental resonance, not counting having any attack percent or any defense percent substat rolls on this build. Nothing can beat the Whiteblind. You'll have more attack, you'll have more defense if you are high Constellation. So what is it that you guys should be taking away from this? The things you guys should be taking away from this are, if you are one of those few people out there, you have Constellation 6 Noelle, she's your favorite character, do not listen to anyone else telling you to stack attack percent on her, even if you have Constellation 6 during your elemental burst. They are flat out wrong. Build a team around giving her energy. Use a, the Traveler or Ningguang out there, fantastic partner, or Zhongli. Get those energy particles. Make sure that you can get in there, do huge damage with the elemental burst. She's gonna have massive defense. She's gonna be a wall for your team, heal you for infinity HP, pretty much. Have a giant thick barrier, be able to save people when they are about to go down with her talents that she gains access to with her ascension. That gives them a 400% barrier off of her giant defense there, so a 10,000 HP barrier. Instead of auto reviving someone, you'll get that, and she's able to do a wicked amount of damage. If you do build her, you love her, build her that way. If you have her at Constellation 6 and maxed out eventually talent on her sweeping time. Now, if you're not one of those people out there, you've already clicked off the video, don't do that. What should you be taking away from this? So what you should be taking away is that the lower level your talent is on your elemental burst, you don't have Constellation 6. The more attack you will have if you stack attack percent, but the worse your supportive capabilities will be. The best thing about her is your playstyle on your character, Noelle, is going to change based on where you are in Genshin Impact. If you're very early on, you have not very many talent points, you can't hit level 6, level 7, level 8, level 9, level 10 talents, you're not AR 50, 45, you just started out. If you wanted to do damage for you, you're just going to stack attack. You're just going to stack attack, and that's what you're going to be doing. But when you get to the later points of the game, where you don't need to hit Constellation C6 level 13, where you need to make that choice is when you do hit AR 45, when you do hit AR 50, and you can take sweeping time to level 10. You are still going to gain 71% of your defense added to your attack. You can still use the Whiteblind. You will not be able to out damage a full stacking attack build, but you will not lose by a tremendous amount. Instead of having the 135% or the 85% defense to attack, you'll have 71% defense to attack. You can still stack that defense percent, and you will have bigger heals, bigger shields, better support for a small amount of damage loss. If that's what you want to do, you want to have the shields, do know that you will only lose a small amount of damage doing that. Not enough to make her crazy bad in comparison to a full attack build. But if you are a player out there, you just want her to get out there, you just want her to hit things really hard, you don't care how much healing you do, you don't care how much defense you do, she's Constellation 0 for you, just want her to, and you just love the character. If all you want her to do, you have no levels up in sweeping time, or maybe you do at the end of the day, you have the levels up in sweeping time, you just want to do more damage, you don't want to heal or shield, just get in there and level up your attack and have fun with your Whirling Dervish. But for the rest of you guys out there who do have the big stuff, I just wanted to make this video because there's been a lot of things that I've seen that have been like, doesn't matter if you have see that with this, it doesn't matter what level your sweeping time is. They are wrong in every way, shape, and form on all fronts. The best way to build it for damage, if you have the higher levels of sweeping time with the least amount of trade-off, is to just maximize that defense percent and go to work and do damage that way. So you can do a lot of AoE damage at the end of the day. If you get those big builds, especially if you have someone in your party to give her an attack buff like Bennett, you can do literally like 20,000 damage per charge attack hits once you get her maxed at level 90, all that good stuff that you can get. 20,000 damage per charge attack hit, and that hits around 2 times per second. So if you're hitting 4 enemies 2 times in a second for average 30,000 damage, that's 120,000 DP, like straight up by definition DPS as an AoE damage dealer, while healing your team, while being a giant bruiser. That's really strong, and that's how I've cleared most content in Genshin Impact. I won't lie, guys, but if you want to see more stuff like this, where we break down certain characters that you're just interested in because you were interested in them, they don't have to be by definition the best character in the game. But if you want to learn how to use your character the best way possible for you with what you have, that's what the channel is about. We explore that and also talk about other Genshin Impact related content, coverage, new characters, new events. You want to see that stuff? Come and join us. Come check out the Twitch, growing the channel. Awesome stuff out there, guys. I want to see your comments down below, your smiling faces. Tell me what it is that you're focusing on in Genshin right now, what character it is that you're focusing on, and what you're doing with your Noelle if you do have one. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.